In the early 1920s, Alaska, the North Pole, and the Yukon were headline news. Among many other stories, it was reported that President Harding was planning a trip to Alaska. Probably the biggest Arctic stories followed the adventures of Captain Roald Amundsen, who spent most of 1922 on an expedition to the North Pole. The movie industry quickly got on the Klondike bandwagon. Not surprisingly, Buster Keaton jumped at the opportunity for parody with his own Yukon story. In late April of 1922, Keaton spent 2 weeks filming the frozen north in snowy Donner Lake near Truckee, California. As he began shooting the frozen north, his best friend, comedian Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, was enduring his third trial for manslaughter in the death of actress Virginia Rapet, who took sick during a party Arbuckle had given Labor Day weekend of 1921 and died a few days later. Perhaps because of his depression about Arbuckle's situation, The Frozen North became Keaton's bleakest film. More than any of his contemporaries, Buster Keaton often used nightmares, dreams, and death as recurring themes. But in The Frozen North, Keaton not only didn't shy away from jokes about death and misery, he allowed his darker side to dominate. He also didn't shy away from making fun of two popular film stars of the day, Erich von Stroheim, director and star of Foolish Wives, and Western actor William S. Hart. He spent a lot more time on Hart. It's long been rumored that Keaton parodied Hart as revenge for comments Hart supposedly made after Arbuckle had been arrested for manslaughter in San Francisco. Hart spoke at length about the Arbuckle case in a Los Angeles Evening Express interview. This interview may have left a sour taste in Keaton's mouth, although there is no actual evidence that Buster used the Frozen North as any kind of payback. In the interview, Hart implied that he believed Arbuckle guilty of the charges brought against him. But he tempered his assumptions by stating that, "I do not know whether Arbuckle is guilty of the crime charged against him, but if it is true, I am here to tell you that no self-respecting member of our great industry will go so far as to condone his crime." A little more directly, Hart deplored the kind of party that Arbuckle had hosted, and had harsh words for those at the party. In other interviews, Hart tempered his comments with disclaimers such as, "I hope the public doesn't condemn Arbuckle too soon," or, "I don't want to judge Arbuckle. It's a ghastly thing, and I feel sorry for him." Mostly, though, Hart focused on how the arrest might affect the motion picture industry, accurately predicting Arbuckle's eventual blacklisting from appearing on screen, and the subsequent cleaning up of Hollywood. He said, "The Arbuckle case has simply given the hypocrites of the nation a chance to jump on the theatrical profession." In his own comments about The Frozen North, Keaton talked about parodying Hart's on-screen persona, but never mentioned any animosity he might have felt toward the Western star. Hart apparently did not take Keaton's parody well. According to Keaton, "Mutual friends told me that he didn't mind too much the leather string under my chin, the two guns blazing away, or my messing up his one-handed cigarette trick. What really got him, they said, was my kidding his crying. My guess is that he knew how fake that was. Perhaps he did it just to prove that his fans would accept anything he did on the screen. Bill did not speak to me for 2 years after he saw that picture." It's also possible that Hart reacted so negatively because Buster played a despicable character, unlike Hart's good bad man. Usually, Keaton spent about 2 months making a short comedy. Maybe because of all the turmoil surrounding his friend Arbuckle, The Frozen North would not be released until August 28, 1922, nearly 5 months after his crew left for Northern California. Unlike the nightmare portrayed in The Frozen North, which ends with Keaton waking up in a theater, Arbuckle's nightmare never really ended. By the time Keaton got back to L.A. from filming at Donner Lake, Arbuckle had been resoundingly acquitted, but was then banned from appearing before the camera, just as William S. Hart had predicted. Despite the fact that it's apparent to modern historians that Arbuckle was innocent of all charges, he would not star in a film again until 1932, just before his untimely death in 1933 at the age of 46. William S. Hart continued making pictures until 1928, when he retired just as sound came in. He would live until 1946, when he died at the age of 81.